Hey, what's that? You've drawn a character in a pose so cool that it's begun to reverse decades of global warming? That's amazing. But wait, just like a terrible kidnapper at a bookstore, your action scenes still aren't capturing readers? It sounds like you need to take it up a notch with some secondary movement, which is a wild coincidence because I'm making a video on that right now. A video which, if you can see and hear me, you're watching. Now, if you see my first Enhance Your Action Top 5 video, you'll already have an idea of what I mean by secondary movement. Now, in this case, it refers to extra layers of movement which respond to the movement of your characters to really amplify the sense of motion in the scene. Now, in this video, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth to really show how you can implement this tip into your work. Now, let's get straight onto my first tip. It's something you want to brush up on. It's something that when it's in your drawings, you won't want to cut. And I hope this tip will be easy to follow. Cool. Like, who wrote this? This is terrible. Okay, I'm talking about hair. Unless your character's completely bald or has a buzz cut, their hair will probably respond to extreme motion. It can sway, swoop, and get pulled forward and back if the hair that it's attached to is moving quickly. Long straight hair demonstrates this the most clearly. See how it trails behind a fast-moving character? It almost acts like extra speed lines, exaggerating the speed of their movement. Of course, there are many different hair types in the world, and the way that they will move will vary a lot. I really recommend observing movie action scenes, footage of athletes, and dance videos to see how different types of hair respond to fast movement. Think of hair as an overall shape first, rather than individual strands. Look how that shape transforms and shifts as the person that the hair is attached to moves around. This next tip will change the very fabric of your action scenes. Keep it close to your heart. Really? It should be indispensable to any budding comic creators out there. This is awful. I'm talking about material. Now, a superhero can look cool just in plain spandex, but there's a reason that so many of them have capes. Does Superman need a cape for any reason at all? Of course not. He can fly and deflect bullets just fine all by himself. As a comic artist though, that cape is really useful. It can show how fast he's flying when it whips straight out behind him. It can billow out as he comes to a quick stop, or even spiral around him as he spins quickly. It enhances the look of the exciting things that he does and makes them look awesome on the page. The same principle works for other clothing too though. An open coat or jacket can billow out behind a character just like a cape does. The folds in a baggy t-shirt can ripple out to show just how fast the wearer is running, and a hat can come flying off at speed. Just like how different hair types will move differently, different types of fabric move differently too, depending on the weight or density of them. A silk gown flows and folds very differently from a denim jacket, for instance. Now, here are a few simple folds that I often use to help exaggerate the sense of movement in a scene. This next tip will sweep away the competition. Sorry, I'm not reading this anymore. This is terrible. I'm not doing the puns. The next topic is dust clouds, okay? It's dust clouds. Now, this might not sound exciting at all. It's just dust, right? Well, yes and no. Dust can be a useful tool for comic artists when it comes to depicting scenes, but most useful when you're using them in action scenes and you put a bit of movement into it. I like to have characters kick up tiny dust clouds as they run, impacting out around their feet as they stomp down. If there's an earthquake, I want to see dust tumbling down from the ceiling above. Or if a superhero is getting knocked through a building, it's so much cooler if you see plumes of dust radiating out from the point of impact. So those are a few simple tips that I think will help add a bit of value and impact to your action scenes. If those have been useful, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel. So now that you know about secondary movement, how about thirdary movement? No, I'm only joking, there's no such thing. So I think that's it for the Enhance Your Action series for the time being, but if there's anything else that you'd like to see me tackle, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I'll be posting new videos every week though, so check back next week and see what I've got in store for you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.